Amen. I'm just going to share a little bit of, it seemed like the devil just kept telling me, you better not get up there and say,
oh my, what God said?
And I said, no, I was getting ready to go in another direction. I said, no, just get up there and say something real quick and sit back down. Which I still want to do that.
Sure. That's what you want to do. Sure.
But Pastor Chris, he started confirming the word
my God.
I had. And I knew that was my confirmation. It was just the enemy trying to
shut you down.
Shut my mouth. Amen.
My God.
But it's just kind of like a little part two of what I said some word that the Lord had dropped in my spirit. It's just like kind of like a little part two of what I was talking about last Sunday. And we were talking about don't leave the 80 for the 20.
Oh, come on now.
That's what we were talking about last Sunday. And we were talking about waiting.
My God.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
sometimes that waiting, and sometimes we think it's been so long. I've been waiting for breakthrough in the same area. I've been praying about this same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes in that waiting, the enemy, he'll try to distract us.
Yes. Oh, my God. Yes, he will.
And
my Lord.
I was looking at Exodus 23 and verse 8. And I looked at that in the New Living Translation. And it says, my God, take no bribes.
My God.
Take no bribes. For a bribe makes you ignore something you clearly see.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, come on, my Lord.
Come on, Jesus. Yes, Lord.
A bribe makes you ignore something you clearly see. You clearly know it's not right.
Yes, ma'am.
My Lord. You clearly know it's wrong. But that when the enemy tries to get you to take that bribe,
oh my.
He'll try to get you to see that thing like, yeah, right now this is what I need to do.
Oh my.
When you clearly see, it's not right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
A bribe makes even, Exodus 23 and 8 says, a bribe makes even a righteous person twist the truth.
Yes.
My God. And I was thinking about, when Jesus was being tempted, he even tried to distort the word.
Yes, ma'am.
To the word.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
He even tried to twist the word, but when does he do it? He came when Jesus was hungry.
Oh my, man.
He came when he was hungry. He came when he was thirsty. And that's what he does. He tries to come at a weak moment to get us to take the bribe.
Oh my.
Twist the truth.
Yes. Oh my.
And I was thinking about when Pastor Chris was telling us, he was telling us about how you went to the family reunion, I think you said it was. And he said that alcohol was all around it.
Come on now.
And he said for a moment, he thought about that.
Oh my, it's a little something.
Hey, glory. Because it was all around him.
Sure.
And he said somebody even offered it to him.
Oh my, you sure?
They even offered it to him. You want a little drink? You sure you don't want this? And we talked about that. That's that Prince of Persia. Hey, glory. That was the Prince of Persia. When he said, you sure you don't want this?
Oh my.
That was the Prince of Persia.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to withstand the blessing. Hey, glory. That was the Prince of Persia. Coming to block the blessing.
Come on now. Come on now.
When he comes with that bride, here he come. Here he come. He's going to try to twist the truth.
Yes. Come on now.
The Bible says it's okay for a little wine.
Oh my.
And don't the Bible say that?
Come on now.
That's true. That's in the truth. The Bible said it, don't it, y'all?
Yes, it does.
But you know how he was still twisting the truth.
Yes.
What he said to Jesus on that mountain, didn't he tell him the truth?
Yes, he did.
But he was trying to twist it.
Yes, ma'am.
But he didn't realize you twist the word to the word.
Come on.
That's why the word has to be built up in us. Because you can't come tell me nothing crooked.
My God. My God.
Oh
my word.
This has to be in us.
My Lord. My Lord.
You know why we're still twisting the truth? Because we got a written word.
Glory to God.
But we forgot.
Come on.
We got a rhema word. We got a word that God's speaking to us right now. And guess what? We got to obey this, what he already spoke.
My Lord.
And we got to obey what he's speaking right now.
Come on now. Come on.
You know why he was twisting the truth? Because God told you, I don't want you to.
Sure. Come on.
Come on.
Sure.
Because God knows where you came from.
Yes.
And I had people come at me with that. And I said, yeah, well, that's the Bible do say. I said, but in my walk, I'm not allowed to do that.
Come on now. That's right.
My personal walk.
That's right.
For what he's called me to do. For the relationship that I have with him. For what he's speaking to me right now.
It's not conducive. Sure. My Lord.
I know where I came from.
Sure.
For the anointing that's on my life.
It's costly, man.
I can't.
Sure. You're not compromising. Sure.
So we can't twist the truth.
Amen.
But that bride, you know what?
That bride.
Some of this stuff the enemy tried to get us to do, you know what we don't realize? It's connected to something else.
Oh my. My God.
The Bible says he comes subtly.
Sure.
He comes subtly. And sometimes we don't even realize what spirits we're operating in when we do things.
My Lord.
It could be a song that you know is not a spiritual song.
Sure.
It's not glorifying God.
My.
But if we don't watch out,
Sure, it'll stir us.
we'll find ourselves tapping your foot.
Sure.
And we think that thing is innocent. We think it's something subtle. We think it's not important.
Sure.
But next thing you know, we're going like
Oh
this.
my.
You're doing it.
But you know what you're doing when you do that.
Oh, Jesus.
When you're agreeing with what they're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Then next thing you know, you wonder why you got these urges.
Oh my.
Where's this coming from?
My.
Because when you listen to it
Sure.
and you let it in your gates, you
My.
also
Brings you back
agree
to
to
life.
it.
Oh, the old man. Sure.
Don't the Bible say, whoever you lend your members to,
My.
that's who serves you
Sure.
all.
My Lord.
So we got to be careful. Because guess what? You know, it reminds me of that song. It said that the hip bone's connected. It's always connected to something else.
That's right.
And we don't realize what we're opening up for.
Jesus.
Maybe that's why you couldn't control your temper. Because you didn't realize you opened up for it. When you did whatever you did. However you yielded your members to that thing. I'm not going to say who this person was. But I knew this person and they was a Christian.
Sure.
But all of a sudden they started taking a knack. I don't know where it came from. Might have been something they saw on TV. See, we got to watch what we let go in our eye gates.
Yes.
We got to watch what we let go in our ear gates. You know? And all of a sudden they started smoking cigars. You know, and it was just, and I had never seen this person do this before, so I didn't know where it was coming from.
Sure.
I said, well, I guess, you know. They felt like it wasn't hurting anything, you know. And I don't even think they was inhaling, but it was just something that they got this knack and they got this thought to start puffing on cigars. And they would just go sit out on the porch and they would puff on these cigars, you know. And then they got to where they wanted to start experimenting with all different type of flavors. And that's all they was doing. They were just smoking the cigars and they did that for a while. And next thing you know, they wanted a drink. Then it was the drink and the cigar. Next thing you know, looked up, and I didn't see that person at all.
My Lord.
Lord have mercy. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Wherever that seed was planted, wherever that thought
My
came
Lord.
from,
My Lord.
it went from puffing on the cigar to the drink to the women.
My
Lord
Lord.
have mercy.
My Lord.
Then it was seeing different women. So that's how the enemy is subtle. We gotta watch what we're opening up for.
Sure.
My
And we just talked about waiting and how the enemy comes with these bribes. And I thought about how he was offered that drink. And like I said, that was the Prince of Persia coming to withstand the blessing. Anything he can do to block what God has promised. Anything he can get you to do to walk away from the promise.
My Lord. My Lord.
To get tired of waiting on your reward after you waited all this time. Hey, glory.
My God.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we don't even have a good excuse.
Well, come on.
Sometimes we just say, God understands. You know he understands. He knows how we are.
Well.
Can I borrow this from him?
Sure. Sure.
God said, you're right. I do understand. He said, but you understand this too.
Come
don't
on
you?
now.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
There's some of us that know we know that.
Come on here. Come on here now.
God said, yeah, I understand you, and you understand this.
Come on now. Jesus.
Amen. Got these little words in.
Praise God. Praise God.
So you know what we do when we give up, when we say we can't stay in no more. We just can't wait no more.
My God.
I got to have this thing. I can't wait on the promise no more. You
Yeah,
know, like, wasn't that Abraham?
We wind up with an Ishmael. Come on,
Yeah.
somebody.
And guess what? It wasn't it his wife that went and told him,
Sure.
go into my handmaiden.
Oh my,
To,
oh my.
let's get this thing
Oh
popping.
my, oh my, oh my. Sure, sure,
I'm
sure.
tired of waiting.
Sure.
He said, go into my hand. And he did it.
Oh my.
And you know what God dropped in my spirit? He said, watch what you agree to when you get tired.
Sure. Oh my.
My God.
He said, watch what you
My Lord.
choose to become intimate with.
Yes, man. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh
My
my.
God.
He
My
said,
God.
because you might birth something
My God.
that you wind up hating.
Oh,
My Lord. My God.
Then she put it all together and then she wind up hating.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my, oh my.
So when we give up, it's like we're saying, I'd rather eat that slice of pizza. And Pastor Chris was talking about meats for the belly and the belly for meats, and he was talking in reference to food.
Sure.
We'd rather eat that slice of pizza and take the bribe.
My God.
Say no.
God said, eat a salad.
Sure.
I said, I want a cake. God said, I got something special for you. You said, I got to have that man. I got to have that woman. I just got to have her. That's the Prince of Persia. Hey, glory, coming to withstand the blessing.
My God.
I just got to have that fried chicken.
Oh my, oh my.
I want that fried chicken.
Oh my, oh my, oh
She's
my.
raising her hand.
Sure,
She
sure,
wants the fried
sure,
chicken.
sure. Glory.
So,
Glory.
we rather
My
stroke out.
Oh, Jesus. Help me, Lord.
We
Oh,
rather
my,
stroke
my,
out
my, 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 my.
and live 20 more minutes
Yeah, shut up.
than follow the doctor's orders and live for 40 more years.
Come on.
Don't leave the 80 for the
Oh
20.
my, oh my, oh
What are you waiting for? Amen.
Amen.
Praise
My God. My God.
And we were talking about that waiting sometimes in reference to the elevator, like we're waiting on the elevator. And sometimes, and Pastor Chris, this is more confirmation for me. Sometimes when that elevator, sometimes to activate that thing, what we gotta do? We gotta push. Sometimes we gotta push while we're waiting.
Oh my, oh my, oh
Waiting
my.
don't mean just being idle.
Sure.
But we gotta do something.
Sure.
That's right. That's right.
That push is that press.
Work while you wait.
The Bible says sometimes we gotta get violent.
Oh my, take it by force. Sure.
Sometimes we gotta get violent with this thing and say, no, not today. I'm not doing it no more. You're not taking nothing else from me. Guess what? You're not robbing nothing else.
My God, my God.
And guess what?
I see you.
I'm not gonna have no heart attack.
Oh my.
Because I'm not gonna worry no more.
Glory.
I'm tired of stressing. No. Guess what? God got it under control.
Glory to God.
I'm not gonna fry my brain no more.
Glory to God.
Come on now. You better go ahead.
Panic. Good night.
Thank you.
I'm gonna trust God.
Sure.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
And we just gotta get violent with that thing.
Sure.
By faith.
Oh my.
No, you're not taking nothing.
Nothing.
Get behind.
I see you.
I'm standing. I'm gonna stand.
My.
Sometimes we gotta stand flat-footed till that devil say, no.
Come on now. Let's go
Sure.
ahead.
See that?
Sure.
I'm gonna wait on God.
My God.
Because my God don't lie. And he said he was coming. I can't see how
Sure.
he's gonna do it. I walk by
Oh
faith
my.
and not by sight.
Sure.
See, the Bible said faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I know the elevator's coming down. I see a little light on the button. That's the evidence. That's some of the sign. But I can't really see where that thing is on the inside.
My Lord.
But it's the evidence of things that I can't see.
And I know it's coming. Come on.
And you know how that elevator do sometimes. It'll get all the way down sometimes. We just watch it coming. We're watching the numbers. And then sometimes we'll see it hit 2 or 3 and it'll stop. Prince of Persia. That don't mean it's broke. Hey, glory.
My God.
That don't mean this word don't work no more.
Oh my.
Come on here.
That means interference. You know how sometimes people do, they get up there and they hold the door.
Yes.
They trying to do whatever they do.
Sure.
That's interference.
That's interference. My Lord.
That's Prince of Persia coming to block.
Praise
But this word still works.
God. It's a hammer. Sure.
We talked about God.
Praise God.
They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength.
Leave that strength. Come on.
And sometimes we got to wait on him to breathe new life into us.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Sometimes we got to get him to sedate us. Hey, glory. I'll be needing to stay sedated.
Sure.
But I'm talking about the new wine.
My Lord.
I'm not talking about the old wine.
Come on now.
They try to offer Pastor Chris. I'm talking about the new wine.
Come on, somebody. My Jesus.
Yeah, I need a drink.
Oh my, living water. Sure.
So that, you know how even in the natural, a lot of times, you still got to deal with something, but it's just like it makes you not even worry about it. That's how we need that new wine.
Come on.
So that we can stay so sedated that guess what?
My Lord.
Child, it don't even matter.
Yeah.
You know how we do it? That drink in us.
Somebody.
Child, it don't matter. I ain't worried about it. But that's how we got to be in the spirit. We need that new wine. Amen. She got it. Amen. Faith without works is dead. We got to push. Hey, glory. We got to stand. We got to push for elevation. Sometimes when elevation's right at the door, we got to push. We got to push. We got to take a stand for change. Amen.
My God.
Glory to God.
Yeah.
Good word.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
And in waiting, we just gotta stay close. We gotta stay close.
Stay close. My Lord Jesus.
We gotta stay close so that we can hear Him speaking.
Yes.
So we can be at the right place at the right time to receive the blessing. We gotta be postured correctly. We gotta be spiritually postured correctly. And we gotta be geographically postured correctly.
That's right.
I remember one time I was praying about this house. If we can't see, and if we can't hear, if our hearing is dull, and our seeing and our vision is blurred, how are we going to be able to do the right thing? How are we going to be in the right place? We got to stay close to the one who can tell us, you're supposed to be over here right now. This is where I'm going to sustain you. Like he told Elijah. In the famine. That famine is when we're getting tired. That famine is when we're thirsty. That famine is when we feel ourselves getting weak. He told Elijah, he said, go right over here by this brook, and this is where I'm going to sustain you. This is where I'm going to feed you. So he had to be not only spiritually postured correctly, but he had to geographically be in the right place at the right time.
My Lord, my Lord.
To even be able to wait.
Jesus.
And so we need to stay close to the Lord so we can hear him speaking. So he can tell us what direction we need to go in. So he can order our steps.
Yes. Yes.
I remember one time I was waiting. I was looking for a house and I was trying to move. And I was going to take this house and it was nice. It was a nice house, but it wasn't in a good area. But I just wanted to hurry up and get it done, get it over with. I wanted to deal with somebody that wasn't going to be asking me a whole bunch of questions about credit and all that, because I knew that wasn't good in the natural. So they said I could have a house. And I went and I remember the kids was little, and they was little like that. So I was all excited. I went to go take them to the house. Here God was speaking through them.
Oh my. Oh my.
I got up to the house and I was just tickled because on the inside the house was nice. Talked about them counterfeit blessings.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
And because you're tired of looking. I got up to them house and was getting ready to run up them steps. Them kids said they was little like this. They didn't go in the house. They said, we don't want to live in this dirty old neighborhood. And I was just, I said, okay. You know? So I went and I had to posture myself correctly. And I went to noonday prayer and I got down on my knees.
My God.
And I got at the altar. And I heard God speak to me so plain. He said, why would you settle for the least when I want to give you the best? That's exactly what he said to me. So I got up, I went, I talked with another landlord about a house that I felt like was so far out of my reach. But it's that favor of the Lord.
Glory to God.
I wound up getting that house with no money,
Yes, ma'am.
no nothing.
Sure.
But when the man looked at me, God said, when he looks at you, I'm going to give you favor with him. As soon as he look at you, he going to want to give you the house. And that's exactly what he did. I told the man that I didn't have this, I didn't have that. He said, we're not worried about that. He said, ma'am, my wife wants you to have it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I had to posture myself correctly spiritually before I could even be postured correctly geographically. So we can't be idle while we're waiting. We got to stay close. We got to stay close. And just in closing, amen. Just it. Amen. And I just wanted to share, Pastor, I felt like God had put this on my heart, that He said, through your prayers, I'm setting some things up to be postured correctly when I send them in. Hey, glory. He said, through your prayers, I'm setting some things up so that they're postured correctly when I send them in. What you're waiting for is right at the door. Hey, glory. Is right at the door. What you're waiting for is right at the door. Amen.
Oh, my.